You have been told that money is about hard work, clever strategy, or being born under the right star. But that story is only a fragment of the truth. There is another layer, older than markets and untouched by luck, a current that runs beneath every exchange, every opportunity, every flow of provision. Florence Scovel Shinn called it the power of the spoken word. She taught that wealth does not begin in the bank, or in the hours you trade for a salary. It begins in vibration, in sentences that shape the unseen long before numbers ever appear. For decades, these principles have been hidden behind polite quotes or buried in dusty books, while most of the world is kept busy chasing formulas that never free them. What I am about to reveal are 10 secret laws of spoken wealth, laws that move quietly, waiting to be claimed by anyone bold enough to speak them. They are not tips or tricks. They are not positive thinking painted in gold. They are spiritual mechanics, alive and obedient, responding to every word that leaves your mouth with conviction. Most people will never hear them explained in full, some because they do not believe words carry weight, others because they are afraid of what might happen if they truly commanded their life instead of reporting it. But you have come here searching for something more than hustle. You have felt, in quiet moments, that your language is building rooms for you to live in. You have sensed that phrases you repeat, about money, about opportunity, about yourself, become walls or gates. And you are right. The truth is this: every fortune begins as a sound. Every breakthrough starts as a sentence. And when that sentence is aligned with law, doors that were shut swing open. Tonight, we will walk together through 10 laws rarely spoken aloud. Each one is a key, hidden in plain sight, waiting for your breath to turn it. As you listen, don't rush to memorize. Let the words wash over you, stir your imagination, and settle into the deepest place inside you. Before we open the first gate, pause for a moment, breathe slowly. Picture a still surface of water. On it, your next life is waiting like a reflection. One phrase, the right phrase, can ripple through that surface and call the reflection into form. Are you ready? Because once these 10 laws are spoken, you will not be able to return to the idea that money is only material. You will know it is spiritual, vibrational, obedient to the rhythm of your voice. Let us begin. Before we dive into the first law, make a declaration. If you're ready to let your words unlock new doors, pause for a moment and write this in the comments. I declare that I am prepared to receive my wealth. Let it be your first spoken act of alignment, a signal to your own mind and to the atmosphere around you that you're stepping into a new rhythm of prosperity. Law 1. The law of the creative word. Everything you touch in the visible world was once a sound in the invisible. Before there were contracts, numbers, or coins, there was a voice that dared to speak form into emptiness. Florence Scovel Shinn called this the power of the spoken word. She reminded us that the very first act of creation recorded in Scripture began not with tools, not with effort, but with a sentence: "Let there be light." This law teaches that your prosperity begins exactly the same way, as vibration released through your own mouth. Every time you describe your finances, your opportunities, or even your sense of worth, you are molding substance. Your speech is a potter's wheel. Your phrases are hands shaping clay that has no choice but to respond. Think about the language you have used in secret moments. Money is hard. I never have enough. I'm always behind. Those sentences, spoken casually or in frustration, are like stamps pressed into wet cement. The cement hardens, and soon you walk inside walls built by your own breath. But here is the miracle. Cement can be broken. New clay can be placed on the wheel. And the tool for reshaping is already in you, your tongue. The law of the creative word invites you to become intentional about every syllable. It tells you that you are not just narrating life, you are authoring it. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine that your words are golden threads, weaving patterns across an unseen canvas. Each time you speak with clarity and purpose, the pattern brightens, forming corridors for supply, ideas, and solutions to travel toward you. Say this slowly, letting each sound vibrate through your body. My words are architects of abundance. I speak and provision hears me. Let it roll through your chest like a command written in light. Speak it again, but this time picture your future, leaning closer, listening carefully, ready to obey. From today forward, treat your language as sacred material. Before you call something impossible, ask if you want to live inside that decree. Before you repeat an old phrase about struggle, pause and choose a better one. Spoken wealth is not about shouting affirmations into the air. It is about recognizing that the air is alive, ready to take shape according to the blueprint of your voice. Law 2. The law of definite speech. Most people speak about their goals the way a traveler points into fog, with hesitation, with soft outlines, as if they're apologizing for wanting more. But spoken wealth doesn't answer to guesses, it responds to certainty. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote that a clear word cuts through delay like a blade through mist. Without definition, even the most beautiful ideas remain clouds with no rain. The law of definite speech tells you this. When you speak, decide. Decide the size of your good. Decide its quality, its direction, its welcome in your life. Vague words build vague experiences. Precise words build clear corridors for abundance to walk through. Think about a builder giving instructions. Make it big is not enough. A house is raised because someone said, build a doorway here, a window there, a roof this high. Your sentences about money and opportunity work the same way. If you whisper, I hope something nice happens, the law has nothing solid to deliver. But if you declare, I invite prosperous clients who value my work, you draw an outline that reality can fill. Try this exercise. Stand where you are. Place your feet firmly on the ground and breathe. Let your spine straighten until you feel tall inside. Then say, slowly and with a calm strength, I give clear voice to my good. Hesitation has no throne in my mouth. As the words leave your lips, notice if any part of you tries to shrink back. That shrinking is the echo of old conditioning. Voices from childhood, culture, or past disappointments telling you to stay small. Speak again, louder in spirit if not in volume, until every part of you agrees to stand behind the statement. Definite speech is not arrogance, it's alignment. You're not demanding from the universe like a tyrant. You're speaking as one who understands the protocol of law. When the architect draws a line, the builders don't argue, they start. When you speak with precision, the same thing happens in the unseen. Events, people, and resources begin to arrange themselves to match the clarity you've given. From this day forward, refuse to send out half-formed sentences about your finances or your worth. Let your words be blueprints, not smoke. When you name what you want with certainty, you give the law permission to move without confusion. Law 3. The law of inner agreement. You cannot build wealth with a divided tongue. Every time you speak a sentence about prosperity, but secretly doubt it, the vibration inside you cancels the command you've just released. The law of inner agreement says that the outer word must be supported by an inner yes, a quiet consent from your emotions, your thoughts, and even the way you carry your body. Florence Scovel Shinn often said that words are seeds, but the soil is your subconscious. If the soil is poisoned by old stories of failure, guilt, or unworthiness, the seed will wither before it can take root. This is why many people repeat affirmations yet see little change. They are planting roses on frozen ground. To activate this law, you begin with honesty. Notice how your body reacts when you speak of abundance. Do your shoulders tense? Does your breath shorten? That tension is a signal that part of you still believes safety lives in scarcity. The solution is not to scold yourself. It is to bring warmth to those frozen places until they can agree with your words. Here is a practice. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Speak softly. I speak as one with myself. Every part of me consents to wealth. Let the phrase travel through you, like water soaking into dry earth. If doubt rises, don't fight it, answer it. Say again, every part of me consents. Picture all the fragments of your past, the one who struggled, the one who feared, the one who felt unworthy, stepping forward to sign a new covenant with your present voice. When you achieve inner agreement, something remarkable happens. Your words gain gravity, they stop floating like feathers and start landing with authority. Opportunities sense this coherence. People hear it in your tone. Even your own nervous system begins to organize around the statement. Wealth is not drawn to contradiction. It is drawn to stability. So before you craft sentences about money, check the temperature inside. If your body is cold with fear, warm it with breath. If your thoughts whisper, "Not for me," answer with a steady "Yes for me." Then speak. The law will recognize the harmony between your lips and your heart, and it will move without resistance. Fourth, law. The law of expectant tone. Words are more than letters. They carry a frequency, a texture, a pulse. You can repeat a perfect sentence about wealth, but if it leaves your lips thin, hesitant, or soaked in doubt, the atmosphere hears only uncertainty. The law of expectant tone teaches that the sound of your speech is as important as its content. It is the breath behind the syllable that calls substance into form. Florence Scovel Shinn reminded her students that faith is a mood as well as a word. Your sentences are sails, but expectation is the wind that fills them. Without wind, even the finest canvas droops, and the boat drifts nowhere. When you speak with expectancy, you create a current that carries your declaration forward. Think of the difference between a traveler saying, "Maybe my train will come," and another saying, "My train is arriving." The second voice holds a quiet authority. It assumes arrival. That is what wealth listens for. A tone that treats provision as inevitable, not optional. Here's an exercise. Stand comfortably. Plant your feet on the floor and inhale until your chest feels open. Then speak this line, letting each syllable rest on steady breath. I give voice to prosperity with calm authority. My tone invites fulfillment. As you say it, notice how your body wants to align with the vibration of assurance. Let your shoulders roll back, your gaze steady. The aim is not volume or theatrical force. It's grounded confidence, a resonance that tells the unseen, "This is settled." Practice this law in daily conversations about your finances, your projects, even small purchases. Speak as if supply already belongs to you, as though you're merely summoning what has been waiting. Expectation is a quiet magnet. It draws resources, solutions, and allies because it declares, "I have room. I am ready." When you marry clear language with expectant tone, your words stop wandering like stray birds. They become arrows, flying straight toward the mark. Fifth law, the law of daily rhythm. A single word can open a door, but rhythm keeps it from closing again. Spoken wealth isn't about dramatic speeches that flare and fade. It is about steady language, spoken like a heartbeat, until abundance learns to recognize your address. Florence Scovel Shinn compared repetition to water shaping stone. A drop seems powerless at first, but day after day it carves valleys where rivers can run. The same is true of your declarations about money and opportunity. Said once, they plant a seed. Said faithfully, they create a groove in your inner world, a track that trains everything around you to flow in alignment. Most people use their words reactively, praising when things go well, sighing when they don't. Their language has no rhythm, and so their prosperity has no rhythm either. The law of daily rhythm invites you to speak not as a reporter of circumstances, but as a musician keeping time with a larger song. Here's how you practice it. Choose a sentence of increase, any phrase that affirms open doors and steady provision. Then tie it to the simple anchors of your day. Whisper it when you first open your eyes. Murmur it as you pour your coffee. Speak it while closing your workspace at night. Let it accompany you, like a steady drumbeat beneath the noise of routine. Try this one now, softly but with intention. I set my words on a steady rhythm. Prosperity answers the cadence of my voice. Say it 3 times, slow enough for your nervous system to register the calm certainty behind it. Feel how each repetition makes the thought less fragile, more structural. like beams being placed in a new house. The secret of this law is that consistency outruns resistance. Doubt may flare, appearances may challenge you, but a steady rhythm wears down opposition until only truth remains. When your language becomes dependable, wealth begins to treat you the same way, not as a gamble, but as a sure return. Let this be the close of your first set of laws: clarity, decision, agreement, expectancy, rhythm. Together they build a platform strong enough to carry the rest of the principles we will unveil. Pause here, breathe, and notice how even the air around you feels a little different. That is the quiet beginning of spoken wealth. Law 6. The law of circulating speech wealth, like air or water, exists to move. Stagnant pools grow stale. Rivers that flow stay alive. Your words work exactly the same way. They are currents. If you speak about money only in the language of fear, I must hold on, I might lose it, you create a dam around your life. The waters grow heavy, but they don't refresh you. Florence Scovel Shinn urged her readers to bless every dollar that left their hands. She taught that release spoken with gratitude multiplies faster than grasping ever could. Circulation begins with speech, with the way you talk about giving, paying bills, or investing in your future. Picture two people. One whispers complaints over every expense. Another says calmly, "Every amount I circulate returns to me multiplied." Who do you think invites an open loop of supply? The one who trusts the law of return. Say this aloud, letting your breath match the words. I speak with the rhythm of flow. What I release in truth returns with increase. As you repeat, imagine your words as golden currents spinning out into the world, touching work, friendships, opportunities, and then spiraling back richer, brighter. Circulation is not loss. It's evidence that you believe in an abundant source, not a shrinking pie. Law 7. The law of faith-charged language. A sentence spoken from panic is like an arrow with no tip. It may fly, but it won't land. Faith gives language its edge. It is the invisible electricity that makes a phrase alive. Florence often wrote that words without faith are like shells without pearls, beautiful shapes, but hollow inside. To practice this law, learn to pause before you speak about money or success. Notice if your body is tense, if your voice is rushing. That is fear trying to ride on your syllables. Instead, breathe until you feel a quiet yes beneath your ribs. Only then release the sentence, as one releases something already complete. Speak slowly now. I speak from faith, not fear. What I decree is already finding its form. Feel how different it sounds when you anchor it in calm confidence. Faith doesn't have to shout, but it stands taller than worry. When you talk about a goal, an investment, or an opportunity, let your tone assume that good is on its way. The more you clothe your words in this invisible certainty, the more the unseen rushes to match the steadiness it hears. Law 8. The law of honoring what you hold. Prosperity does not grow in soil that you despise. Many people ask for more, while speaking carelessly about what they already have: a job they complain about, a wallet they curse, a home they call not enough. The law cannot multiply what you refuse to bless. Florence Scovel Shinn reminded her students to praise even the smallest coin, because gratitude is a magnet for expansion. When you speak well of your current resources, you teach the unseen that you are a safe steward. A farmer doesn't insult the first shoots of spring. He protects them, waters them, calls them precious. Your language toward your present income, your belongings, even your own skills, is the water or poison on those shoots. Try this. Look around the room and name aloud 3 things that serve you right now. Then add this phrase: I honor what I have, and it multiplies. Feel how respect softens tension in your body. This law does not mean pretending you are satisfied with limits. It means acknowledging value as the seed of increase. When you bless today's provision, you prepare a runway for tomorrow's. Law 9. The law of openness to new paths. Wealth often arrives through doors you didn't know existed. But if your words constantly rehearse, it has to happen this one way, you blind yourself to fresh channels. Florence wrote that divine supply has 1,000 roots, and you find them by keeping your speech wide, not narrow. This law asks you to speak with welcoming language, to describe your prosperity in terms that leave room for surprise. Say, I welcome new paths and unexpected doors. What aligns with my highest good comes easily to me. Repeat it slowly, and as you do, imagine corridors of light opening to your left and right, opportunities, meetings, ideas that have been circling, waiting for you to invite them. Openness is not passivity, it is a steady readiness. When you keep your voice hospitable, new connections and resources are drawn toward the calm invitation in your tone. Refuse to speak as if your good can only come from one employer, one client, one plan. Speak as one who trusts an endless field of channels. Law 10. The law of steadfast identity. Every law you've heard so far rests on one quiet foundation: how you see yourself when no one is watching. If deep inside you still identify as someone bad with money, unlucky, or destined to struggle, no amount of elegant speech can outshout that inner verdict. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the spoken word is powerful because it plants a picture in your own subconscious, and you will only harvest what that inner soil believes you deserve. Steadfast identity means speaking from your worth, not toward it. Most people talk as beggars. Please let me be prosperous. But the law does not reward pleading. It mirrors posture. When you stand as one already accepted by abundance, your words gain weight. They become declarations, not requests. Here is a practice for this law. Sit upright, place a hand over your chest, and breathe slowly until you feel a calm strength. Then say, with deliberate clarity, I am a worthy channel of divine wealth. My words carry the authority of who I am. Let the sentence settle inside, like a key turning in an ancient lock. Say it again, but this time allow your body language to agree. Shoulders relaxed, eyes forward, voice steady. Steadfast identity is not about inflating your ego. It is about remembering that you are not an outsider to good. You are part of its design. When you know this, the atmosphere of lack loses its power to intimidate you. Keep watch over the stories you repeat about yourself. Refuse to let casual jokes about failure or clumsy remarks about your finances anchor you in a false image. The more consistently you speak from a stable identity, the more reality will treat you as who you claim to be. With this 10th law, you complete the second pillar of spoken wealth: flow, faith, honor, openness, and identity. They don't just describe behavior. They create an inner stance from which every next decree will spring. Pause, breathe, and let these 10 principles form a quiet confidence inside you. From here, we step into deeper waters. Laws that refine agreement, shape timing, and teach mastery over the rhythm of speech. You've just heard the 10 secret laws of spoken wealth, principles that can reshape how abundance responds to your words. But they only work if you speak them and live them every day. Take a moment now. Which law spoke loudest to you? Write it in the comments as your declaration. And if this message inspired you, hit like and subscribe so you don't lose this rhythm, so you can return here whenever you need to recharge your focus and strengthen your words. Most importantly, put these laws into practice starting today. Whisper them in the morning. Speak them before each brave step. Let them anchor your tone. You're no longer a bystander. You're the speaker of your own wealth story, and the world is waiting for your voice.